Ladies and gentlemen, please find your seats. The program will begin shortly.
Good morning. My name is Bridget Gilbert, and it's been my pleasure to be the 2022 president of the Greater Albuquerque Association of Realtors. And I'd like to welcome each of you to this year's annual meeting of the Greater Albuquerque Association of Realtors and the Southwest Multiple Listing Service. We're not going to overload you with a bunch of handouts and printed programs this year. You simply need to scan the QR code that's on your table, and you'll have access to the annual meeting program, GAAR and swimless meeting minutes from 2021, and several other documents that will be mentioned for today's meeting. Another way to access those documents is go to gaar.com. The slider on the home page will provide you with a link to click. Both ways take you to the same location. This morning, after the business section of the meeting, I will have the pleasure of introducing you to our keynote speaker, National Motivational Real Estate Coach and Leadership Trainer, Ifeoma Pierre. You may have had the pleasure of meeting Pierre last June during our speaker series. He's passionate about increasing your knowledge of sales, marketing, branding, and advanced social media strategies. His keynote topic will be Today Matters, 12 daily practices for today's success. Then after our luncheon has concluded and we have a short break, Pierre will be back as our instructor for a 2-hour CE course called Agent Extinct, How to Survive the Ever-Changing Real Estate Market. That sounds like a really great topic, right? The class will start promptly at 1:30, and because you'll be receiving continuing education credits, you will be required to sign in and out, and seats are still available, so if you haven't registered, you can still register for that class. And if you're ready to take a vacation, we'll be giving away to one lucky person 2 round-trip airfares that can be used to fly anywhere in the continental USA. Nice. How do you get a chance? Well, all you had to do was to donate a minimum of $50 to the Realtor Fund this year. If you've already donated this year, you'll automatically be entered into the drawing, but the more times you donate, the more chances you have to win. It's not too late to donate. You can still make your donation to the Realtor Fund at the table in the back hallway. You may have noticed the GAAR Angel tree in the hallway as well. This annual program benefits the APS Title I Homeless Project. We are not only collecting for student angels, but their families as well. There's still time to adopt an angel or a family and do some shopping. If you don't have time to shop, you can make a monetary donation that will be used for gift cards. Before I call our meeting to order, I'd like to invite our GAAR CEO, Kent Cravens, GAAR's incoming president, Carrie Traub, the Southwest MLS president, Jeanette Raver, and Southwest MLS President-elect, Tigo Venturi, to please join me on the stage for the State of the Association briefing.
Good morning, everyone. Wow, what a crowd. I think this is probably a record turnout, and we are so happy you're here. Let me move this around just. What'd I do? Casper Gomez, thank you. Are we set? We love this panel discussion. It's something we kind of modeled after meetings that we go to when we go to the NAR meetings, and they're really fun because it's just a personal sort of representation of your leadership, and they get to say things that, just off the cuff. And so we're going to make it fairly informal, folks, if that's okay. And we call it the State of the Association panel. And who better to go at it here than your esteemed leadership here, Bridget, Carrie, Jeanette, and Tigo. Two that will become immediate past presidents this morning, and two that will assume the role of president of their respective organizations. Well, January, which is soon, by the way. The year is pretty much over, so in case you didn't notice. It's Merry Christmas, by the way. So let's get started with Bridget. 2022 president. Bridget, tell us the exciting news about rebuilding our member space at the Realtor Building, and when can members return to GAAR?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Good morning. It is exciting. This is a project that we have been waiting on. Our GAAR building received substantial damage due to torrential rains back in May of 2021. And so we have been waiting to rebuild this. Just to give you a little history, we have been fighting with the insurance company ever since. And so we have been working very hard to provide the funds that were needed in order to rebuild that end of the building. And so we have recently made some strides. We have approved the financing, and construction actually started last week. And I am just really hoping that, this time next year, you will all have attended an in-person class back at the GAAR building. So stay tuned. I think that the staff at GAAR is providing kind of a photo journal of things, but drive by every now and then and see what kind of progress is being made.
And we do welcome you to come by and see progress. You're going to need a hard hat and a vest. If you want a quick tour, we can do that. Depending on what the contractors are up to, we don't want to put anybody in danger, but you're welcome to stop by. And if you haven't seen the renderings on GAAR.com, they're stunning. You guys are going to be so happy with your new facility. It will answer a lot of questions and problems for us as logistically as we try to handle the larger crowds that have been coming before the cave-in. But anyway, it's going to be great. You're going to love it. Jeanette, let's move on to you. Realtor safety is a huge issue. It should be top of mind for all of us. What steps have we taken at Southwest MLS and at GAAR to assure that realtors are safe in their work environment?
You got it. Well, first I want to tell you is that the attacks on real estate agents are increasing every day. So we really have to be safe, to think about your safety. And so one of the things we did is we launched, Southwest MLS launched Forewarn. And if you haven't used it yet, please get on it and test it out. But what it is when someone calls you up and says, I'd like you to show this house to us, and you don't know who they are, and you probably shouldn't go meet them at the house, but if you do meet them at the house, you have their phone number now, so you can take the app, put the phone number in. It will give you criminal history, where they live, background check a little bit, but mostly it's the criminal history we're looking for. It also gives you where they live, if the phone number's right. Forewarn is 80% accurate on the person that, you put the phone number in. Now, it can't do anything on burner phones, but it will look at the phone and see if it matches up to the person you're showing the house to. And so then you have a choice. You get to decide, am I going to show it or am I not going to show it? It's just one tool in our box. We all need to have a safety plan, and that's just one tool. But you need to think about it and not be out there for a risk. So thank you.
Thank you, Jeanette. And it is important. It's important to buddy up, too. I think that's something we all learned as we were getting our license and learning to show homes and things. Buddy up. Don't leave yourself vulnerable to any of this craziness that's going on out there. Carrie, you're the incoming president for GAAR. And we look forward to a wonderful year in your leadership. Tell us a bit about your vision for GAAR in the coming year. What are you most excited about during your year as president? And take some time on this if you want.
Take some time. Okay, I can talk for sure. So I'm really excited about the building. I think that that's going to be amazing, and it's going to provide so much for all the members. One of the things that I really want to focus on next year is ethical accountability and professionalism. As we get more and more people in the industry, it's so important for us to, hold ourselves at a higher level. And I would like to get out there also and show the members the value of GAAR. We hear that a lot, I think, is what's the value of GAAR? And once you get involved in what GAAR does and NMAR and NAR, you start to realize what actually happens behind the scenes. And I don't think that many of us even realize what happens behind the scenes and what a huge organization with the staff at GAAR and the executive committee and the board of directors and SWMLS. It's just amazing. I really want to encourage people to get involved, and I want to get out to the brokerages. I think that with the shifting market, I don't know the right word to say because you're not supposed to say shifting, I don't know. So we're just going to say we're going to have a correction, I guess, and going through that one time. Okay, no, not a correct. Okay, when Tigo talks, he'll talk to you more about the market. That's his thing, okay? So the ever-changing market that we're going to have. You got it? Okay, cool. I think that, it's going to be really important that we use our tools that GAAR has to offer, that we, reach out to the support. And we also stay focused on what we do, and that is to put people in homes, but also advocacy, what we give to the community. There's just so much that we do, and I just really want to work with everybody to get involvement. I mean, this is amazing. We were sold out for this meeting today. That's really cool. So anyways, good job, you guys. So I think that we want to get the other building rented out, and so we're working on that as well, and that's going to happen very soon, right, Bridget?
Your lips to God's ears.
But, going back to that building, a lot of people ask questions about the building, and we all know the history of the building, which I'm not going to mention at this moment. But I would like to get out to the membership as well and talk about that building and why we made that purchase and what we're doing with it. And, it's going to be an amazing investment. But again, going back to what GAAR does, getting out there and talking to you all and getting into your meetings and just really getting the member involvement is what I see as the vision.
Great. Thank you, Carrie. Yeah. So a lot of you do have that question, well, what do those people do at GAAR all the time? And a lot of it is there's a lot of research that gets done on things that we bring to you, like Forewarn, the products and services that you have, constantly under review, constantly under scrutiny. And so there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes to make those things a reality for our over 4,000 members. Did y'all know that? Over 4,000 members now. So that's pretty great. Tigo, let's move to you real quick. Southwest MLS and GAAR, by the way, just finished putting together the 2023 to 2025 strategic plan. A lot of work went into that. Again, a lot of time and effort. I don't know, probably 50, 60 hours of work for each member of the team that put the strat plan together, and there were numerous people. And in a nutshell, from your perspective, what's in it? How does a strat plan benefit our members?
I go back to something Paul Wilson said, there he is, Mr. Wilson, and saying sometimes it's not pretty to see the sausage made, but you get the end result. And we have a pretty good end result here. And the strategic plan is guidance from membership, that's all of us, to the leadership, both on the boards and the staff, on how to, what's important to us and how we're going to move forward. And we have a really, really good comprehensive strategic plan, not too comprehensive that can't be done, but the idea is, just to give you an idea, the bullet points are communication, collaboration, performance, intelligence optimization. I know those sound like just a bunch of buzzwords, and they are, but there's a whole bunch of breakdown of what that means and how we're going to implement that in the association. I'm going to go off script just a little bit, and two more things I want to mention. We had two big additional things that happened this year on Southwest MLS in particular. One of them was the survey. Well, I take that back. I mean, that was for the whole association, was the survey. Great response to the survey. Appreciate everybody that responded, and I will assure you, everybody that made comments, those got read, every one of them. And some of them were interesting. And so I think I want you to understand that this stuff is taken seriously, right? This is our association. This is our MLS. This is a member-run association and a member-run MLS. And your input is critical. And so out of that survey, that's what we used when we were putting together these strategic plans. The other thing I want to mention, we're going to go into more here later, is we also revamped the bylaws for Swimless or Southwest MLS. It was long overdue. And let's see, it was Kathy and Jeanette and who else was on that book? Mary Kay. So spent a lot of time going through our bylaws and then running it through the executive committee as well as the Southwest MLS board of directors, and really cleaning up our bylaws that dictate how we perform and what we do on the Southwest MLS. So that was a big win, and we're going to be voting on those changes later today.
Thank you, Tigo. Yeah, we're going to be voting on that later, and that was a long process, and a lot of thought went into, because those are the official documents that we function by. And if you look at a stool with three legs, for us in the association world, we've got our bylaws, our founding documents, and our policies. We've got our strategic plan. And for NAR, they assign us core standards. We have to meet core standards for NAR, or we don't get our charter. So we're very careful to make sure we pay attention to all the aspects of NAR's basic, the way a basic association should be run. And then ask Nick Fowler. We pretty much double or triple that, and we function at a pretty high level in meeting those requirements. So. The three-legged stool, you knock one of those out and you don't have much of a foundation. So thank you, Tigo, for bringing that to us. Bridget, good morning.
Good morning.
Many of us have heard about NAR's DEI initiative, and that's diversity, equity, and inclusion. What steps have we taken at GAAR to acknowledge and recognize this initiative, and why is it important?
I am so pleased at the strides that the board has taken this year to advance this initiative. The name of this committee is ABCD. That stands for Advancing Belonging, Community, and Diversity. And I think it was, I love that byline there that they have. This committee has really taken boy, they hit the ground running this year. I'm so proud of everything that they've done. And so their role is to help support our associations, our committees, and to provide education and outreach. And they have over 30 members so far. And they have provided some really, really great training in those meetings. They've set out their missions. They've done so much in such a short amount of time. And I realize that everybody thinks that because we live in the Southwest, we have no problems, but we have people that can't get into homes right now. We have people that need our help. I mean, one of our missions as an association is to secure everybody's property rights. But we need to get them those rights in the first place. And so anybody that, can I just kind of go off script
Sure,
too?
absolutely.
Anybody that's on that DEI committee, would you stand and let people know who you are in case they have any questions? These people are meeting on a regular basis, and if your company does not have somebody that's a member of that committee, can I encourage you to promote that process? Because what happens is we promote, we educate, we get everybody involved in our communities, and then we take that back to our companies. And so it's just like this little thing that starts to spread. And so those of you on the committee, great job. I love everything that you've done. This did start as an NAR initiative, but the way they have just made this hyper-local within our community, I just say, great job, guys, and I am so pleased at all the work that you've all done. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Bridget. Extremely important work. Good for all realtors. Back to you, Tigo, real quickly. Or not quickly, take your time. We all know that our industry is changing faster than ever. What does this mean to the future of the MLS, and how can we help our members capture those benefits?
How much time do we have? You know, we think about just 10 years ago when I got into the board of directors for the MLS and how much we've changed just since then. And it seems like things are changing exponentially fast, right? We're going, you know, how long ago was it we were driving across town to get signatures for a counteroffer, right? We don't do that anymore, right? You know, we did some initiative here where we have artificial intelligence looking at our photographs in our MLS to make sure they're in compliance so that everybody's, you know, playing nice together. And there's, I don't know if you want me to go into the whole DOJ thing or not, but you know,
anything that comes out of your mouth is useful information, Tigo.
Well,
Usually.
I don't know about that. My wife's sitting back there. She'll disagree with you. If you haven't heard about this, you probably just need to understand that the Department of Justice has been looking at organized real estate for many, many years. This goes back a long ways. And there are definitely people within the Department of Justice at the federal level that feel like the way we do our business is not consumer friendly, which I would adamantly disagree with. I think the MLS and the way the MLS works is an amazing tool to help people, you know, obviously find homes, get the best deals, see what's available, as opposed to kind of a hodgepodge of listings. I mean, you think about the way the commercial world works versus the residential world. And don't get me wrong, I love the commercial world. It's just very different. And so you need to be aware that stuff is out there. And Kathy, what's the name of the website? Commissioninformation.com or something like that? Thank you. Thank you, Richard. RealestateCommissionFacts.com. And that's an explainer about how we get paid. And it's just, I'll just leave with this. It's important to remember that we don't tell people that our services are free. We get paid. And I think communicating with our clients on how we get paid, especially on the buy side, because many times they don't know, is critical. And that's kind of the crux of the biscuit, as they say, that the DOJ is concerned about. So just be aware of that and be aware that's out there and communicate properly and appropriately with your clients when you're out there. So,
thank you. That is important, very important information, and we try to keep those blogs updated on GAAR.com regarding the DOJ in lawsuits and things that are flying around, and the really, really talented people that work on your behalf to make sure that realtors are represented at the highest level with the most competent professionals. I mean, you have to know that, and it's a reality. So we will move on to our speed round. Thank you, Tigo. Speed round means we're just going to rapid fire all the way through this. We're going to start with Jeanette, come down, and then finish up with Tigo. since he just spoke. I'd like each of you to give us, in a sentence or two, that will help our members ride the Realtor brand. In your opinion, what will help our members ride the Realtor brand?
So what I put down is united pride of professionalism. Together we'll celebrate what it means to be Realtor strong. Deep community involvement, volunteer spirit, defend our property rights, and the fierce commitment to excess and code of ethics.
Gary?
For those of you who maybe don't know about what riding the brand is, it's about being a realtor and what we are and what we do and holding ourselves to, as I said before, a higher standard. So we are realtors, what we do is important, and we aren't going anywhere.
There you go. It has been proclaimed. Bridget?
I think one of the biggest things that I have seen over this past year is this really wonderful realtor community banding together when we've had any issues. We've had lots of things come up this year, and I think it's that realtor community. We've had things with the Realtor Fund, giving funds away. We've taken care of people in needs. We've banded together when needed, and so I think the realtor community pulling together this year really rides that brand and shows why we get to put that capital R with our name.
For those of you that don't know it, there's a belt buckle that I got at an NAR conference that I'm very fond of. But it's the Realtor brand.
I got one too, but it's a little big for me.
Tigo.
We've heard collaboration up here. We've heard cooperation, and I'm going to talk about cooperation. When you think about a co-op or a cooperation, that's where a group of people come together for the mutual benefit of everybody. And that's what we are, especially with the MLS. I mean, the MLS is a co-op, right? This is a group of people that have come together. It says, okay, I'm going to share this property with you, and in return, if you sell that property for me, I will pay you some money, right? And so it is, we're all in this together, and we can't succeed without each other. And to me, that's what the Realtor brand is about. It's where a bunch of independent contractors all competing against each other, and yet at the same time competing against each other. And when you get involved down at the association, which if you guys haven't, and any of the committees, you'll see that on display, that we're all working toward trying to make our association better, make everybody better, and be more professional, and ultimately it's helping our buyers and sellers.
Thank you, and give our panel a nice round of applause, please. So while they're exiting the stage, I just want to go back to Tigo's talk about the strategic plan. And something very unique has evolved out of our discussion about the strategic plan, and the board votes. Both boards voted independently on their own strategic plan. Like I said, there was a lot of thought that went into them. The neat thing we have an opportunity to do this year with the facilitator that we hired, and the kind of the mindset that we've all adopted on the strategic plan, is that anybody in leadership is going to understand the strategic plan as part of their service to back to the membership. All the committees, the committee chairs, our boards have been very well versed on the new strategic plan. We want to move forward as a unit. Did you know there's over 120, and that's probably conservative, over 120 spots that we fill between the boards, the executive committees, and all of the committee work that gets done, whether it's golf committee, bowl-a-thon, LEAP, the important committees in MLS, compliance and policy, all of those things. There's 120 people that are busy all year long on your behalf. So you need to thank them if you know who they are, and come be one at some point in time in your career with real estate. So we're gonna learn about this together, and we're gonna explore how we can all move forward unified in that strategic plan. So I'll give it back to Bridget. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'll be doing this for the last time. I hereby call this meeting to order. I'd like to welcome Carrie Traub, your incoming president, who will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and review the antitrust compliancy policy. Please stand for the pledge.
It's amazing how you say the pledge your entire life and then you get in front of everybody and you kind of go, I don't remember it. That's what happened to me last year. Anyways, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So I'm going to give you a little backstory on the antitrust compliance policy. I had one job when I became president-elect, and that was to refer to the antitrust compliance policy at the beginning of every meeting. That was my one job. And it basically took me 12 months to get it right. So hopefully I'm going to get this right this time. The GAAR SWMLS antitrust compliance policy applies to officers, directors, employees, and members of GAAR. This policy requires that such individuals be familiar and fully comply with all applicable federal and state antitrust laws in all dealings on behalf of GAAR and Swimless. GAAR facilities will not be used by any officer, director, employee, committee, or member in connection with any anti-competitive or unlawful purpose or unreasonable restraint of trade. Conduct expressly prohibited includes the following: any discussion or effort to directly or indirectly fix, peg, stabilize, raise, lower, or affect prices on commissions, products, advertising, or credit terms. Any discussion of real estate commissions or other fees or specific non-price business practices of any particular members except in the context of professional standards proceedings. This limitation shall not extend to discussions of methods of operation, maintenance, and similar matters in which cost or efficiency is merely incidental. Any discussion or effort by or among any members, non-members, or competitors to eliminate or limit competition, to divide or allocate territories or customers, or to limit the nature of business carried on or products or services sold or to be sold. Any discussions or effort to engage in any group boycott or concerted refusals to deal. Any discussions or effort to injure or disparage the business or the trade of anyone. If a topic is raised which appears to involve a violation of the antitrust compliance, compliance policy at any formal or informal GAAR or Swimless meeting, anyone in attendance has the right and all have the duty to interrupt and demand the discussion be stopped. Those in charge of the meeting are responsible for seeing that the policy is enforced so that the prohibited conduct is stopped immediately. If the prohibited conduct persists, those responsible persons shall terminate the discussion, cancel the remainder of the meeting, and refer the matter to the president and/or GAAR legal counsel for further action to ensure compliance with the antitrust compliance policy.
For those of you incoming directors, just to put your mind at ease, we will not be reading those every time we meet. It will be simply, please refer to the antitrust compliance. Thank you, Carrie, and great job, by the way. I'd now like to have GAAR past president Belinda Franco lead us with some inspirational thoughts this morning.
Good morning. Sadly, every year we lose some of our dear realtor friends. I'd like to take a moment of silence for our colleagues, family members, and friends we've lost this year who will never be forgotten. As we gather today for our 2022 annual meeting, recognizing our diversity in beliefs, values, faith traditions, but honoring our unity and gratitude, I invite you to reflect quietly on all that is yet to be while expressing thanks for the gift of intellect, goals met and goals not yet achieved, the support of family and friends, our mentors, and for one another. Continuing to reflect with gratitude, ask for blessings on the mission of our association and all that our association serves. As we journey forth, filled with knowledge and dreams, let us continue to learn from our diversity, be filled with compassion, honor the peaceful, nurture the fragile, empower the impoverished, and sense wonder in the ordinary. May the gratitude that we experience today and in new beginnings be the focus for all that is still yet to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Belinda. I'd like to recognize now, we have some special guests among us, but I'd like to recognize Tim McKeechan, our 2022 Central District Vice President, and ask him to join me on stage.
Good morning. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for inviting me here to speak today. I'll be brief. I just want to say that the state of the NMAR organization is strong. During my terms as a VP for NMAR, we've passed every financial audit with flying colors. We're financially sound. Our numbers are up. Membership has consistently grown year after year. All of our contingency funds are well funded and stand ready should we need them. The NMAR building keeps getting better and better every day. It's fully leased, furnished beautifully, well maintained, and has an equity of over $2 million. Simply put, we're in great shape as an organization. We've faced many challenges over the last few years and come through them stronger than ever. Volunteerism and participation are stronger than I've ever seen, and the age of the volunteers keeps getting younger and younger, and that's super encouraging for me because they're getting involved and they're making a difference. I've truly enjoyed representing the Central District as your Vice President for these last few years and getting to know so many of you. I have a real sincere appreciation for the residential brokerage business, and I've come to learn just how complicated and involved it is. It's way more complicated than commercial. True story, a lot more forms. I've many new friendships that I'll always value, and I wish you all nothing but the best going forward and hope to continue to run into you as we go along. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. I'd also like to welcome some special guests that we have with us, and if you would stand and be recognized as I call your name, that would be terrific. I'd like to welcome our 2022 NMAR President, Damon Maddox. Our 2023 NMAR incoming President, Hubert Hill. We have a New Mexico Real Estate Commissioner here this morning. Welcome, Linda DeVlieg. And Adam Hathaway, our parliamentarian. Thank you for being here. So a copy of the 2021 annual meetings is on your table and available through the QR code. So this will give you everything that you need, including the minutes. So I will give you just a minute to pull that up if you need to, and we will take a look at that and get our approvals. Yes. How you doing with those? As this is a full board, it's a regular board meeting, I'd like to entertain a motion for approval of these minutes. Do I have a motion for approval? Do I have a second? Is there any discussion regarding any of the minutes? All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion to approve the 2021 minutes passes. I'm happy to report that the Palakas CPAs conducted the 2021 full financial audit for GAAR and related subsidiary, the Southwest MLS service. The opinion that Palakas rendered was unmodified or the best opinion that can be received. If you would like to receive the full audited financials for 2021, please contact Nick Fowler at GAAR. The last page of the program includes the 2022 financial report, which includes an overview of our membership numbers this year and our financial position as of the third quarter. We have maintained a strong fiscal position and continued to increase our professional services and products. You may have noticed that the National Association and the New Mexico Association have had small increases in your annual dues. However, GAAR and Southwest MLS have not raised dues or fees in the last 13 years. Right? We are committed to providing each of you with the most advanced products, educational opportunities, and advocacy efforts. And if I could just throw a side note in here, we are having to put money into rebuilding the GAAR building. And if I can just say, we are doing this without raising your dues. We are doing it and being financially and fiscally responsible. And I gotta hand it to the board and staff for being able, it has taken a little bit longer, but I think that we're stronger as a result of taking our time to do this right. Having served on various Realtor committees and the board of directors, I thought I had a great grasp on how valuable our volunteer members are. However, after being your president this past year, I've really seen the big picture. And I'm proud to say that we are one large, multi-talented family who comes together to make GAAR the best Realtor Association it can be. I want to personally thank the following people for their dedication to fulfilling our goals and missions for 2022. Would the 2022 GAAR Board of Directors please stand and be recognized? If there are any past presidents of GAAR here today, please stand. Thank you so much for your service. I have a very new appreciation for each and every one of you. I would also like to add a special thank you to our outgoing directors and ask them to come to the stage to receive a small token of our appreciation. Belinda Franco, Jen Cody Martin, Josh Price, and Mary Romero. Now, I'd like to recognize any GAAR members who served in 2022 as a New Mexico Association of Realtors Director. If you were a director for NMAR in 2022, would you please stand and be recognized? Thank you so much for all of your time and dedication. I really appreciate the fact that all of these people that we're recognizing here today give of their time and effort away from growing their own businesses to help make our association stronger. So thank you very much. Let's see. I'd also like to recognize our GAAR members who take the extra time and energy to serve in a position at the national level. Please stand and be recognized if you have served any position within NAR in this past year. Thank you so much. Now let's focus on our local volunteers. I'd like anyone who volunteered on a GAAR committee to stand and be recognized. GAAR committees. Should be a lot of you here. For those of you that may not be familiar with how some of these associations work, everything starts in committees. So these are the people that get the wheels started and then bring it before the individual boards. So thank you so much for maintaining that. I'd also like to recognize any GAAR committee chairs who have chaired any of the committees that we just talked about. And if you would please stand and be recognized as well. We have a small token of appreciation for each of the committee chairs. So if you would please stop by the registration table to pick your packages up after the meeting, we'd love for you to take that token home with you. If you aren't already involved in any of our volunteer opportunities, visit gaar.com to view the committees or ask staff how you can get involved. I think you'll be surprised at how rewarded you will be at making those contributions and really getting involved at the committee level. There are two vital groups that deserve our recognition. RECPAC and RPAC. RECPAC is the Real Estate Community Political Action Committee, which is comprised of 9 trustees, 6 from GAAR and 3 from Carnum, who work on your behalf to support local candidates and advocate for issues that affect home buyers, sellers, and the real estate community. RECPAC, which stands for Realtor Political Action Committee, is also a nonpartisan group who advocates at the state and federal level to support candidates who promote a vibrant business community and protect the rights of private property owners and the real estate industry. Both RECPAC and RPAC work hard in hand for you. This advocacy is not possible without your contributions. I want to thank all of our members who invest in RECPAC and RPAC. Let's recognize those who are RPAC major investors and contribute above and beyond for all of us. If you're a major investor, will you please stand? While I'm recognizing and thanking people, I also want to thank all of the GAAR staff who do a million things behind the scenes to keep this organization running smoothly. Guys, we have the GAAR staff here in the back, and if I could just say on a personal level, when you come in as president of this association, you think you know it all, and then you don't. I served on the board for many years, thinking that I kind of knew how it operated and what happened, but these are the people that not only keep your businesses running daily, but who have been instrumental in helping me out this year. And I personally want to thank each and every one of you for everything that you've done all year long. One more time. Thank you, guys. This is a special one. I love this one. We need to recognize our emeritus members. An emeritus is a member who has served the Realtor family at either the local, state, or national level for at least 40 years. If we have any of our emeritus members in attendance today, please stand and be recognized. Thank you for being here, and thank you for all that you've done over the past 40-plus years, and for supporting our profession all these years. Thank you so much. Now, I would like to turn the meeting over to Kent Cravens for the installation of our GAAR Board of Directors.
Good morning again. We are so happy and proud to have this year's New Mexico Association of Realtor President, Damon Maddox, along with 2023 New Mexico Association of Realtors President, Hubert Hill, incoming president, join us today for the installation. Now, this is the moment, you think you know what I'm going to say, but you don't. This is the moment that Bridget Gilbert has been waiting for. For better than a year now, so really, really happy about it. So we'll start with Hubert. Hubert, good morning.
Thank you. Good morning. Last year I had the honor to do the installation for your GAAR directors because President Damon was traveling doing RPAC training. So this year I asked him to do it since he wasn't able to do it last year. And I just wanted to talk real quick about our vision for 2023 at the state level. And our theme this year is unity through diversity, advocacy, and community. And we've talked about diversity, but I think diversity is also listening to other people's viewpoints. You cannot have diversity without a difference of opinions. So I think it's very important to listen to each other. Advocacy, this is a big one, especially coming up. This next legislative session is going to be huge. RPAC is fighting for homeowners' rights and property owner rights, and there's a lot of stuff coming out now in the legislature that will be very important. And we need you all there on January 26th, our day at the Roundhouse. So you'll be seeing things from Inmar coming in. And so with that, I'm going to turn it over to President Damon Maddox. And thank you for your leadership this year and your dedication and service to our industry. So.
Thank you, Hubert. It has been a great honor to serve you guys this year as your New Mexico Association of Realtors president. This year, the association at the state level, we got a lot of things done. We started the year off with a brand new strategic plan, So I know exactly what you guys had to go through this year to get yours done. The new plan we started at the state level is really member-centric, geared towards you, our members. So the first thing we did was put together two task forces, one to look at our full governance structure on the state level, and one to look at all of our committee structures. Out of the governance task force, the big thing that came out of it really affects this association greatly. The governance structure looked at the central district specifically, and decided that since CARNM, the Commercial Association of Realtors, is really a state overlay board, really specific to our commercial real estate professionals, that they needed a seat at the executive level. So we split the central district up into two districts. So now the Greater Albuquerque Association of Realtors has a specific seat at the executive table, specifically for you, the residential realtors, and the CARNM Association has a seat for the commercial brokers. The second thing that we did this year was looking again at the committee structures. We wanted to make sure that we weren't wasting your time when you come up to volunteer. So we got rid of several committees that didn't have anything going on. And then we combined some. We've added a few extra committees that we thought would help us move that strategic plan forward. We also worked really closely with the Realtor Relief Fund this year to get a $500,000 grant to go out to all of our realtors and general public that were affected by all the fires around our state. And more recently, absolutely, thank you. In the third quarter of this year, we put together a forms task force to specifically look at our forms vendor providers for you, so that we could hopefully streamline and make that process better to get a more efficient, completed form out to you quicker as our member benefit. So we're working on that. We hope to have something with the first quarter of next year. And Hubert, although my hair's better than yours, you're going to be an awesome president next year. All right? And I'd like to invite every single one of you to come out to Hubert's installation on January 26th up in Santa Fe. It's going to be a great celebration. Looking forward to it during our legislative conference. So, again, thank you for letting me come in and do your installation. Sorry I missed it last year. I had to make sure Kathy stayed out of trouble. If the following officers and board director members will come up when I call your name. Carrie Traub, President. Morgan Kennedy Henson, your President-elect. Christopher Shane Tanner, your Vice President. Jean Duran, Treasurer. And Bridget Gilbert, immediate past President. And your 2023 directors, Helen Chan, Michael Glass, Dennis Mitchell Groves, Amy Neal, Anika Nunez, Sean Remington, Alice Tozer, and Chris Venegas. Okay. Gotcha. Unfortunately, Shane Remington is not with us today. He is sick. He's not trying to blow us off. COVID, so. As the officials of the Greater Albuquerque Association of Realtors, you are accepting a leadership position of the utmost importance. You, who will be serving as officers and directors of your local board, stand behind me, are considered the leaders in the real estate community. You are expected to be knowledgeable about the issues of our industry and the community you serve, and a great responsibility rests upon your shoulders. During this coming year, you will be identified as the official representatives of the Greater Albuquerque Association of Realtors by both the business community and the government. In accepting this responsibility, you dedicate yourselves to working for the welfare of your fellow realtors, your community, our state, and our nation. As leaders, you will enjoy a new and lasting friendships. You will experience personal satisfaction that only comes through the unselfish interest in working on behalf of others. Your reward will be a new secret of living that only comes through the art of giving. Please raise your right hands. Do you solemnly and sincerely promise and swear that you will administer the office to which you have been elected to the best of your ability and judgment, in the conformity with the governing documents of the Greater Albuquerque Association of Realtors, that you will observe the Realtor Code of Ethics, that you will uphold and support the New Mexico Real Estate Commission in its efforts in its enforcement of the licensing law, that you will in all your acts be governed by the principles of honesty, justice, and fair play, and in every manner possible endeavor to promote and safeguard the best interests of our state, the high purposes of the Greater Albuquerque Association of Realtors, and the welfare of its members. If you subscribe, please say I do. I do. Congratulations. You may lower your hands. Carrie. Congratulations, guys.
If I could just mention quickly, Sean Remington is one of our directors, but is ill today and could not attend, so we'll swear him in later, okay? I've lost my place. Carrie, it's been an incredible year, and my privilege to serve as the 2022 president of GAAR. And Carrie, I have appreciated your support as president-elect this year. Please accept this gavel. You want this? Am I supposed to take it? Oh, isn't live TV great? Please accept this gavel.
This is a prettier gavel.
This is much better. As a symbol of the position you are assuming and in recognition of your new role, you know that you have my support and anything I can do to help. Here's your gavel.
Thank you all so very much. So this morning, well, first and foremost, they told me to come up here and talk for 2 to 3 minutes, and well, anybody who knows me knows I like to talk a lot, so I'm going to try to make this super short. But I got up this morning with my family, and we sat around the kitchen island, and we talked about what I was going to talk about today. And my 17-year-old daughter was there, and I said, well, what do you think I should say? And I'm just going to tell you, I'm not going to say what her speech would have been. Probably not the best. But for those of you who don't know me, obviously I'm Carrie Traub. I've been a realtor for 24 years. And the 2 things my daughter told me not to do, I'm going to do. First and foremost, I just want to thank my mom, Bev Listek, who is here. My mom was a realtor, and that is how I ended up getting into real estate back in the day. So thank you, Mom. I love you. The second thing I'm going to mention is, well, first and foremost, no, I already said that. Bridget, Kent, Jeanette, Belinda, Morgan, and all the staff, thank you so much for your support this past year. I don't really get emotional, but They are an extraordinary group of people. And without them, I don't know if I would be here. So I see them out in the audience, and I just really appreciate your support. The second thing I'm going to talk about, which my daughter told me not to, is a little story, and Mike Carter, you'll love this. So back in 2010, I decided I didn't want to do real estate anymore after 12 years. So I decided to open up a donut shop. So those of you who don't know that, now you do. Called Dinky Donuts. And I was very proud of Dinky Donuts. Turns out, making 5 cents off a bag of donuts is not really worth the time. So I went to Mike Carter and I said, I'm getting back in. And Mike said, I think I should buy Dinky Donuts, and every time a realtor doesn't want to do real estate, they can go work Dinky Donuts. I said, great plan, Mike. So thank you for taking me back at that time. So going forward as president, we talked a little bit about the vision, but it's amazing, as I said earlier, what happens behind the scenes and what we're doing. And again, I really want to encourage everybody to get involved. The National Association of Realtors is the largest trade organization in the United States. And the power that we have to get out there, to lobby, to help people get into homes, advocacy. We talked a little bit about the different funds that we've given out for people in need with the fires and whatnot. I didn't know so much happened behind the scenes, to be honest with you. I had my head down and I was selling real estate, which is what most of us do. But now being very involved in GAAR, I am just taken back by the time people put in, what we're able to give back to the community. You know, I honestly would probably pay $2,000 a year if I could have Ashley Strauss Martin on my payroll. she's worth just that. But we are such a great organization and what we provide. Again, I encourage everybody to get involved. Don't open up a donut shop. I don't recommend that. This year is going to be awesome. We have a new strategic plan that we're putting into place, very similar to what New Mexico Association of Realtors is doing as well. So we've got a lot going on. It's going to be an exciting year, and thank you everybody for supporting me. Is that yours?
I think you could.
Do I still have something? Now I'm supposed to give you the plaque back. Got it. All right, well, we're going to do this. Thank you, Bridget. I'm going to go off script for a quick second here. Bridget has been the most amazing mentor. And okay, I'm not going to say much more. She's just really been amazing, and I really want you guys to give her a round of applause for what she's done. Would everybody please stand for Bridget? Yes. We don't understand. When you see what she does and how hard she works, that music is I'm supposed to go away now.
That was definitely not necessary, but thank you very much. I can't believe it's already been a year. It seems like it was just yesterday that I was here in Carrie's position, being installed as the president. And what a year, right? 2022. Every year we say, oh my gosh, what's going to happen this year? Stop saying that. Early this year, our real estate community came together to work through to solve some problems created by the ransomware attack. Who knew, right? At our county offices. And I got to tell you, we were asking what means riding the wave of being a realtor. And for me, we saw a community of realtors, lenders, title companies, all coming together to solve the issues on how are we going to get these people closed and in their homes. And the fact that we had a community that worked so quickly to solve that problem, you should all be proud of being able to be a part of this association. It was fabulous. And the market, and the market. Over the course of the year, we've gone from crazy multiple offers to price reduction. What's that? I hope that most of you in this room understand that this is a really great time to increase your knowledge, your training, and your professionalism, and to take advantage of all of the great education and classes that GAAR has to offer. They will prepare you for the ever-changing market, and I just think that we have so many opportunities that we're given to learn and just sharpen our trade. We've mentioned it several times, but we saw this year brought wildfires burning out of control. It seems to happen every year at the same time, doesn't it? The Realtor Fund stepped up to provide support to these communities by creating an emergency fund. This fund was created so that we could speed those funds in a quicker manner to the people that needed those the most. The fund this year contributed $25,000 to the communities that were affected. So the Realtor Fund is just kind of near and dear to my heart, simply because they do jump in. They do take a look at those needs and where that money needs to go, and they provide those resources. So if you're in the Realtor Fund, thank you so much. It is just an incredible job that you're doing. And this year we added the new committee, the ABCD. We talked about it a little bit. I don't think I did it justice up here on the state of the association, but I just want you to know that this is a committee that has the opportunity to affect all of us in many different ways. It's wide-reaching. One of their initiatives is to provide guidance and support to increase the sense of belonging among GAAR members and our communities. And they're really doing a fabulous job. And for me, that the addition of this committee into our association is truly a real benefit to everyone. And we've made recent progress towards rebuilding our GAAR building. Construction started last week to rebuild the section of our building that was destroyed. When the insurance company resisted making full payment for the repairs, we had to set to work finding alternative solutions. We are still fighting that battle. We are in the midst of it right now and are very hopeful that the insurance company will do what they got paid to do. But we had to make some tough decisions this year. And I realize as an association, because you haven't been able to see behind the scenes, and maybe we needed to be a little bit more transparent this year, there have been a lot of things that have been working in the background in order to bring us to this point. And I know things were, for me, if anybody knows me, I don't like to move very slow. So it's been really tough, but the decisions that have been made on a solid basis. Everything has been thought out. We did have some obstacles. We were ready to start construction several months ago and couldn't because we couldn't get a contractor to get in there. So thank you so much for your patience. I hope that we are putting together a building that you'll all be proud of and want to attend classes and meetings there. And I hope by this time next year, you'll all be saying, yeah, I attended an in-person class at the building. It was awesome. I've learned a lot this year. I've grown a lot this year. It has been, it's been fabulous. I mean, there have been some pains along the way, but I just need to thank my family here. because I couldn't have had the experience without the support of the brokers and staff at my company, ERA Summit. You guys mean more to me than I can ever say. I am the luckiest person on the planet to get to go to work with you all every day. Thank you for allowing me to take the time out of your days to come serve. I love you all. And we've done this already, but there's just not enough thank yous to go around to our GAAR staff. Personally, I'd like to thank them for their patience and willingness to get things done. Thank you, I'd like to thank them for taking such great care of you, because that's another one of those things that happens behind the scenes that you don't get to see. And I would like to thank each and every staff member, some of you more than others, for letting me ask a ton of questions and being very patient and kind. And my buddies on the executive committee. It has been such a pleasure to work with each and every one of you. What a great opportunity to be able to work with such smart and caring people. And you all have been so supportive and so kind and so patient with my learning process. And to the executive committee, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you. Last but certainly not least, I'd like to thank our board of directors. They've provided wonderful leadership to this association. And if you know any of those people, go tell them thank you, because they've really put their time and attention in. These are people who come prepared. These are people who ask questions. These are people who, the first question they ask when we're considering something is, so how does that affect the members of our association? And they really truly have put their needs ahead of any personal. So to the full board, if I can simply say that it has been such a pleasure to work with you as your president, and thank you all for all the service that you've put in the extra meetings. Thank you so much. Henry Ford said that coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. We have new directors and leadership moving into 2023, and I think we have great momentum moving forward. I really can't wait to see what's in store for next year, but thank you all for being here, and thank you for your support as well. And now, I would like to turn the rest of the meeting over to your 2023 GAAR President, Carrie Traub.
This is going to be fun. The GAAR annual meeting is now adjourned.